Christian Horner, the mastermind behind Red Bull Racing's incredible rise to dominance, is now facing an uncertain future in Formula One. The 2025 season has brought a new wave of challenges, and a recent development involving Lewis Hamilton is throwing a massive shadow over his tenure as Red Bull's team principal. What exactly is going on between Horner and Hamilton, and why are Hamilton's objections to Red Bull potentially jeopardizing Horner's future in Formula One? Let's break it all down in today's video. First, let's rewind a bit to understand how we got here. The 2025 F1 season was supposed to be another step in Red Bull's domination. But things took a sudden turn when Lewis Hamilton, who had been in talks with Red Bull for years, officially split with the team. Hamilton's decision to not join Red Bull left many fans shocked. While Red Bull had the most dominant car on the grid, with Max Verstappen leading the charge, Hamilton's hesitation to join Red Bull came as a surprise to many in the F1 community. Was he avoiding the inevitable internal battle with Verstappen? Or was there something deeper going on within the Red Bull camp that pushed Hamilton away? Well, as it turns out, a lot of it has to do with Christian Horner's leadership style and the ongoing friction between Hamilton and the team. Now, let's focus on why Hamilton's split with Red Bull has such a huge impact on Christian Horner's position. According to sources close to Hamilton, his decision was heavily influenced by objections to how Horner runs the team. Hamilton is known for his competitive spirit, and he's always been very vocal about his desire for respect, both as a driver and as a team member. For years, Hamilton and Horner have been on opposite sides of the fence, with Hamilton's concerns about Red Bull's aggressive approach in managing their drivers, particularly Verstappen's position as the #1 driver. With the arrival of 2025 and Verstappen firmly in charge of Red Bull, Hamilton saw little room for him to thrive in such an environment. What's more, there have been rumblings that Hamilton didn't feel like Horner was open to a genuine partnership, which is vital for a driver of his caliber. Instead, it seemed like the team was prioritizing Verstappen at all costs, leaving little space for a potential second driver. And this, in many ways, is why Hamilton walked away from the Red Bull opportunity. But here's the thing. This isn't just about Hamilton's split. His departure has sent shockwaves through the F1 paddock, with many wondering how much longer Horner can hold on to his position as team principal. Christian Horner has been the backbone of Red Bull Racing since its inception. His ability to manage and motivate drivers like Sebastian Vettel, Daniel Ricciardo, and Max Verstappen has been a cornerstone of the team's success. However, the situation in 2025 is far from what it used to be. While Horner's leadership style worked wonders in the past, the landscape of Formula One is changing rapidly. The dynamics between team principals and drivers are becoming more complicated. And with the increasing presence of driver power, Horner's traditional methods may no longer be as effective as they once were. Horner's hardline approach, where the team's interests often outweigh individual driver needs, might be one of the reasons why the split with Hamilton became inevitable. In an F1 world where top drivers want more control over their future, and with teams like Ferrari and Mercedes offering more driver-focused atmospheres, Red Bull's old-school, no-nonsense approach is beginning to feel out of place. So, could Horner's future be at risk? It's certainly possible. If the team continues to see internal fractures, especially with their most valuable drivers, Red Bull may begin to question whether Horner is still the right man to lead them in the new era. Let's talk about the bigger picture for Red Bull. Hamilton's departure isn't just a blow to the team's potential future with an all-time great driver. It's also a symbolic moment for the entire Formula One grid. The fact that a driver of Hamilton's stature and experience would choose to turn down Red Bull speaks volumes about how the team is perceived by its peers. For the past decade, Red Bull has been the undisputed powerhouse of Formula One, with Verstappen at the helm, bringing the team unparalleled success. But with Hamilton turning them down, there's a hint that the team's dominance might be coming at a price. As more drivers start to question the internal structure of Red Bull, Horner's ability to maintain that balance of power becomes even more crucial. In 2025, when Red Bull is at its peak, the focus should be on securing more championships, not on managing internal strife. And if Hamilton's objections are any indication, Red Bull may need to reconsider how they manage driver relationships going forward. If you're wondering if Horner's job is really on the line, the answer is, it's complicated. On one hand, Red Bull has been incredibly successful under his leadership, and their results speak for themselves. However, the pressure is mounting. The dynamics of F1 are changing, and teams need to adapt or risk falling behind. Red Bull has proven it can win championships, but it also needs to prove it can maintain a strong driver lineup. And with a future that includes potential stars like Lando Norris, George Russell, and even a returning Lewis Hamilton, Horner might be facing the most challenging period of his career. If Red Bull's dominance continues, Horner will likely stay. But if cracks start to show, especially if Verstappen grows increasingly frustrated with the internal politics of the team, his position could become more precarious than ever. Could Christian Horner's role really be in jeopardy? It's definitely on the table. While Horner has a decorated legacy and a trophy cabinet to prove it, the pressure of modern F1 is shifting fast. Today's teams aren't just about results. They're about harmony, adaptability, and keeping top drivers happy. And in that area, Horner's old-school management might be showing its age. Red Bull might still be winning on track, but the off-track battles are just as important. With big names like Lando Norris and George Russell waiting in the wings, and Hamilton proving he's not afraid to walk away from the top team, the stakes have never been higher. If Horner can't evolve with the times, Red Bull may be forced to consider a new path forward. This moment could define the next era of Red Bull racing. Hamilton's rejection wasn't just a missed opportunity, it was a message that even the most dominant team can't ignore internal friction forever. Whether Horner adapts or steps aside could shape the next decade of Formula One. Christian Horner's position as Red Bull Racing's team principal in 2025 is now more uncertain than ever. The departure of Lewis Hamilton, fueled by objections to Horner's leadership style, could mark the beginning of a new era for Red Bull. Whether that era includes Horner at the helm remains to be seen. As the 2025 season unfolds, all eyes will be on Red Bull to see how they handle these internal challenges. Will they continue their dominance with Verstappen, or will the team's internal struggles cause them to falter? Thanks for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates on the 2025 F1 season. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Does Horner's future at Red Bull look shaky, or will he pull through and lead the team to another championship?